My D4 that I can add to ability checks, I can now also add it to saving throws.
Yep. I've been looking at playing at Pact of the Talisman.
Yeah, you just take
Dome.
all of the Talisman invocations, and it's great. I have one invocation I have not really used yet, and I thought it would be super useful, and it turns out I just never come up. I can just see through some other creature.
Can't you swap over invocations every couple of levels?
I don't know if I can swap them.
Because I know I did so with Lucius at least once or twice.
Yeah, I could do it with spells, but
it might be in Tasha's.
Oh, when you gain a level in this class, you can choose one of the invocations you know and replace it with another invocation you can learn.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe I will do that.
Well, you got 2 minutes. Brickroad left.
Yeah, that's why I'm considering this. But now I have to read through all of these.
Yeah, now all of the runes are actually really cool. And I'm seriously considering playing a rune fighter in a longer campaign.
That doesn't make sense. Don't care.
I think the next character I'm going to end up playing is Bard. Because playing a half caster is just like, well, I wish I had more spell slots.
I have enough spell slots, I feel.
Right, but you're a full caster.
Yes. And I wish I had more smite slots.
It's fine. Just be like Razi. Don't have spells. Just dump it all into smites.
That's what paladins do anyway.
I mean, the casted smites do have like a couple of fun knock-on effects.
Oh, there we go. That's what I'll do. Okay.
I would still count that as like you're still smiting. You're still using your spell slots to smite.
Yeah.
All right. I gain the spell Disguise Self at will.
The thing is, you have to precast.
There we go.
Doesn't it take your bonus action?
So it's a casting time of 1 bonus action, but the next time you hit with a melee weapon during the spell's duration, your attack deals an extra 1d or extra damage, and then it adds an additional effect to it.
It's a duration that you still have to hold concentration on it, though, right? So if you miss, you could still get it knocked out of you, unfortunately.
All right.
I guess that's just
it's the next time you hit with a weapon attack. So theoretically, I keep it until I hit.
Yep. Anyway, so the tunnel you're in ends in a wall of loose-fitting stones. Red light shines through the cracks, and you hear the sounds of shouting and hammering coming from somewhere beyond the wall. The stones at the end of the tunnel here can be easily moved aside to create like a 3-foot or so square opening, which you medium creatures are going to have to squeeze through, but like it's no like difficulty or rolls or anything required to get in through.
Suppose Leonardo might actually be going first because he is small.
But, oh yeah,
I need to make sure you're ignoring Fog of War.
Me and Mrs. Fitzbiggins should probably go first. Ignore Fog.
Peering into this M12 right here, crates of props are stacked in the chamber alongside wooden backdrops draped in cobwebs. An 8-foot diameter circular wooden disc painted to look like a smiling moon leans against one wall. From a cluttered corner, a raspy voice says, "Psst, over here." Glancing in that direction, you see a wooden marionette carved and painted to look like a human skeleton. It appears to be tangled in its own strings. I seem to have gotten myself in a wee fix.
If I'm the first through the tunnel, Leonardo will go over and assist it.
So you walk across this skeleton doll, and he is in a heap. His strings and his limbs are just jumbled together.
Being an artist, Leonardo knows more or less the proper anatomy of somebody and would attempt to put him together.
It'll take a little bit of work to do it. So after about a minute, of like doing this, I need you to make me a dexterity sleight of hand check.
Ooh, that's not what I expected. Okay. Uh, 20.
You work through and you untangle all of the strings and orient all of his limbs properly. And he stands up, introduces himself as Break a Leg, and then immediately walks over and starts shaking every one of your fingers. Like he grabs your finger and just starts just enthusiastically shaking.
Oh, Leonardo finds this amusing, and he holds out the other hand like expectantly.
He doesn't. He just shakes your hand once and moves on to the next person.
Pleasure.
No, then
Oh.
he shrugs.
One of the most unsettling things about this is as he's like talking to one of you, like, so he's walking forward and his head rotates 360 degrees as he's like saying thank you, and he's talking to you, and his head is tracking you till it's like 360 degrees around, and like his body is walking forward and his head is completely around, and he's still addressing you. And again, this creature's name is Break a Leg.
Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Break a Leg. We are we're passing through for now.
He says, "Don't worry, I won't turn you in." He says, "The
Closing
old
up the tunnel,
hag
by the way.
doesn't know that that's there for sure. We better close that up."
Indeed.
And yes, I'm closing it up.
Can we put like a crate in front of it or something?
Well, then
mean,
it
you
wouldn't
could
be
do
able to
that.
be used at all.
Break a Leg says he wants to.
That's a good point.
He says he goes, "Hold on, before you close that up, I don't want to be here. Do you mind if I go back down into wherever that goes?" He goes, I was never mean enough for the old hag,
I certainly don't have an objection.
So,
and she doesn't treat me very well.
Can you tell us anything about her before you go? Anything that would help?
He says, well, she's terrified of eclipses, although that is the worst kept secret in Motherhorn.
Yawn, huh? Seems to be in Yawn the same as well.
He shrugs. He says, well, she's not exactly. She's pretty. And he thinks about a word. She's pretty diligent about such things.
Unsubtle?
Yeah, it's a good one.
would you happen to know of the location of somebody with a which mask do we not have? Because we had
So
there's-
the elf wearing the moon mask is out in Yon, and her sister Glister is somewhere in here. She's
Somewhere
wearing
here.
a sun mask.
And we're looking for-
One thing you will note is in this corner there is a fake moon. It's a wooden disc painted to look like a moon. Looks like it weighs roughly 50 pounds. And a small iron ring is screwed into the top so that it could be hung from a hook.
That's heavier than Leonardo is.
let's keep note of that. That might also fulfill the prophecies of the mirror of terror or whatever it was.
Break a Leg tells you that he is aware of Glister's existence, but he's been he was discarded down here a while ago, so he's unsure where she is currently.
Pity.
He says, but he was discarded down here at the same time as that moon because, as you said, Indolin doesn't want it to be on the premises somewhere where Glister might wander in front of it. So that's why it's down here in storage.
keep it in mind. So
Leonardo is
bring it with us?
looking. It's very heavy.
It's very heavy, but we may have to come back here for it later if it becomes necessary.
We have a pact.
Leonardo is looking at the moon and has an idea. Wait a second. She's afraid of an eclipse, but what if? What he kind of looks at Turvum and says, "What if you introduce yourself as Turvum the Eclipse?"
that could be an appropriate nickname at some point in time, but I feel like I would have to do do the great deeds of it, but you know.
And she's like to clap you in irons, throw you in her dungeon.
I'd like to see her goddamn try.
Oh, no. This would be while we would be fighting her. Surely.
I've got my
As your battle cry, you just announce
I
it.
like your idea. I'll keep that in mind.
I've still got magic face paint that can be used to disguise self. We could give that to Turvum.
Yeah.
To paint him up like the Eclipse.
And Leonardo casts minor illusion and makes like a small like moon over Turvum's head that is slowly just blacking out. Like, I don't know, I think it works.
This is a fantastic idea.
And I look above and see this, and it's like, let's not show our hand just yet. And perhaps we should, consider looking around some more for perhaps a more concrete solution as well, and we can fall back on this if we do not discover one.
Break a Leg advises you do not fight Indolin, because she is, even if you do scare her away with an Eclipse, there are about 30 or 40 Darklings upstairs that are loyal to her and will try to kill you.
What are Darklings?
So we've been told.
Remember the dark-skinned elf-like
Elves.
creature that was talking to Bavlorna? That kind of, when you attacked Bavlorna, she kind of stepped to the side and was like, "I don't want no part of this."
Okay.
So yeah.
So we know nothing about them.
These
really.
40 Darklings do want a part of this.
Right.
How many of them can I fit in a 10-foot radius?
Not enough.
I got 8 birds. Can I get 40 Darklings?
Turvum scowls at this, knowing that while he knows that he is not the most agile person, and his chainmail makes a lot of noise all of the same. So he is concerned about being too loud.
Break a Leg says that, well, to be fair, Indolin probably already knows you're here because of her ability to see the future. If she doesn't know, she probably doesn't know exactly where you came in at, but she is probably aware that you're going to be in her inside Mother Horn at some point.
While this conversation is going on,
It is also likely that if that's the case, then her sisters have also likely told her what they know of us, what we are capable of.
He lets out a belly laugh, and his head spins 360 degrees and says, "Oh, no. They don't talk to each other like that."
while this conversation is going on, if this is a storeroom, Leonardo wants to look for something that looks like a tabard that Turvum could wear.
That's.
And he's going to paint an eclipse on it.
You are currently in a this is like a props chamber. There are like bits of scenery and stuff like that in here.
Oh, so there's no costumes or anything like that.
No.
Okay.
Not in here.
Okay.
We'll have to look around and see what else is to hand in perhaps the costume storage room.
But yeah, if we're in a theater, we could totally dress up the party to play the part.
I mean,
He goes, honestly, if you want to look around the building, your best bet is to perform in the theater. Anybody who performs in Innolin's theater gets full guest rights. As long as they perform well.
Because the last time I was in this situation, I got booed off the stage.
Yeah, Leonardo will do it. He'll volunteer.
Well, he says, if you want to do that, go find Indolin. He goes, as for me, and he does a little like, hello my baby, hello my darling, hello my ragtime gal, and then fucks off.
I hope he has a top hat.
He does not have a top hat, but he mimes having one. And he just scoots on down the mine.
They hide the floating skulls for me.
Hey, maybe they're his friend.
If you heard any of them, I'm chopping you into pieces.
Well, in any case, let's go ahead and seal that back up, and then go and suppose we take a look-see around.
So, as a backup plan, we probably should figure out what our act is going to be. And claiming that I am Turvum the Eclipse when we're doing an act is probably not a good way to get guest strikes.
That should be the finale of some theoretical act where we are going to attack her. I mean, we know
just
that
told
this is going to
not to do
happen.
that?
We know this is going to happen, and Leonardo looks at Mrs. Fitzbiggins.
I'm all for, the glorious battles, but, I don't like attacking. I would like to, believe that we can win. And considering that, for all intents and purposes, she's immortal.
We should also
Hence the ruse.
We should also take our measure of her before playing our hand.
Yes, this is all good and well, but our track record of negotiating our way through these hag problems is not stellar.
You haven't tried yet.
Well, good. Third time's a charm. But either way, I would consider us fighting to be a last resort for the moment, just because even if we somehow were able to defeat her, we're not good enough to beat 40 of those creatures that we saw in.
Yes, that part does concern me.
The Darklings, just so you know, are
challenge rating 1/8.
They're basically elves that were cursed by the Summer Queen. So they cannot go they absorb light and age in it, which. And then as a double FU, all the light they have absorbed over their lifetime is explosively released at the time of their death.
Excellent.
Oh, so we can set off a chain reaction.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
Which would be great until we blow ourselves up with it.
How do you guys feel about leaving here and taking a long rest?
Didn't y'all just have a long rest?
I thought we just did one.
But I'll wait all goddamn day. I could prepare the daylight spell. I can mess up 40 Darklings.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if Turvum could do that, but if you can do that, absolutely.
No, I can't, because I only have...
I didn't even think of the Druid spell list, yeah. No, that's absolutely worth doing.
A 60-foot radius sphere of light.
Yeah, no kidding.
Well, back into the tunnel. we're going back to the hut.
I absolutely feel like it's worth retreating and doing
that.
this tomorrow.
You should absolutely prepare that.
Yeah.
No question.
As far as I know, we don't have any pressing concern that we have to solve within the next 24 hours.
No, you don't.
And this sounds like the perfect weapon against a bunch of Darklings.
Yeah.
That would also give me an opportunity to carve my my storm rune. And
have multiple contingency plans. This is great. I love this.
The only thing is that she has two hostages.
Yeah, but how long has she had these hostages? She's not going to kill these hostages in the next day.
No, they're her guests.
Okay.
Well, we don't know that, but it would be foolish to assume that there's no potential repercussions for this, because she does see the future, apparently.
Okay, well then she sees that I'm coming in with a daylight spell and will know better than to sick 40 Darklings on us.
Yeah, I think that this is this works to our advantage.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right, we'll take the benefits of a long rest.
Okay. What do I junk?
When you guys go back to the cave down to the Brickroad mine, you get there and the Queen of the Corrids, who you had previously met, is down there conversing with the old Brickroad, who was living on the horse.
Oh, that's good.
That's
Hopefully they're not yelling at each other.
Yeah, they're hashing out an alliance, and they tell you that when you have need of them, cry out for assistance, and we will come to assist you.
Thank you.
And
Leonardo says thank you, but Rez wants to know by what mechanism we can do that.
Just if you cry out, they will hear you.
Okay, I know when we're going to do that.
They tell you that they can. They will do their best to confound and neutralize her minions, while you can maybe possibly they can either possibly get you out of a tight spot or maybe give you time to confront the hag without her lackeys.
Leonardo asks them if they have any issues with very blindingly bright light.
Let me see if either of them. I don't think either of them do.
I mean, they are earthen creatures, so
Neither of them
Usually they're
have.
dark.
No, neither of them have light sensitivity. Yeah,
Okay.
no, they're fine.
okay, cool. We don't want to hurt them.
Yeah, they're not kobolds. God.
Yeah.
Kobolds don't have light sensitivity anymore.
They will always
Goblins
have
and-
light sensitivity in my games.
Goblins and orcs
Ridiculous.
used to.
Not in 5th edition.
No, in like 3.5. I had to have a little index card that I would flip over for daytime and nighttime, so I'd remind myself as the orc druid whether
What?
I'd have a -1 or a during daytime or not.
Why would orcs ever have had light sensitivity of any kind?
I don't know.
Doesn't make any sense.
I was playing a full-blooded orc, but yeah, it was
Mhm.
I
was like-
think they
it was
might have
like
had it
something.
in 3rd edition or some
Yeah.
shit.
it was 3 or 3.5, something like that. It was stupid.
Oh,
I
you
never
got-
remembered.
You've got a 4th level spell now. Isn't that nice? 'Cause level 7.
Yes, I do indeed. What did I take?
Are you
Daylight?
level
I took
7?
Summon Elemental.
Yes, we're level 7.
Daylight's a level
We-
3 spell.
We went from 5. We went from level 5 to level 7 this session because we
Yeah.
gained a level when we entered the
Yeah.
yawn,
We-
and then we
we've
gained a
gone
level
it.
when we entered.
We've gone at quite the clip, yeah.
Yep.
We're doing pretty good.
For what it's worth, I wouldn't be able to get a 3rd level spell slot and thus get daylight until 9th level.
I don't think we're gonna reach level 9. I assume
I think we're coming up on the end of this.
probably
No.
8 is the last level. I
Yeah,
assume.
this caps out at 8.
Holy
Okay.
shit. 2nd edition Monster Manual. Orcs hate direct sunlight and fight at -1 penalty to their attack rolls in sunlight.
Yeah.
What?
I-
Why?
My DM, who might actually be watching this, made me write on an index card, and I had to flip it over during daylight, and flip it back over when it was nighttime.
Orcs like lead armies and stuff out across. They go like raping and pillaging across open plains.
Yeah, and
They only do
-1.
it at night. I guess they only
And
do it at
-1.
night.
Fine.
I mean,
Hey,
they can-
I'm just as upset about it as you are.
I don't think that's possible.
Do you know how many times I was like, does a 15 hit? Well, is it really a 15, Wes? No,
Oh,
it's a
oh, no.
14. God damn it.
Anyway.
I forgot.
So, all right. So you're sneaking back into Motherhorn after a long rest.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
By the way, the little skull puppet break a leg. He's like dancing. When you get in, he's dancing for the Briganox. He's just having a good time.
Miss Fitzbiggins is just grinding her teeth, counting down the moments till all this Feywild nonsense is behind her for good.
One of the Briganox
Totally
has
no.
given him a little top hat, so that he really is doing the.
Okay, good. All is just in the world. Thank you.
All is well.
It's about to ask. Glad you're looking out for me.
Yeah. One of the things that you can do, if you want, I'll let you, since you have secured a path into Motherhorn. By the way, going in the front door was available to you as well. Like, Motherhorn is not. It's not like a spire. Like, there's a path up to the side that leads to it, because performers come here regularly. But if you want, Galeem did offer to come into the building with you if you wanted to do it, although she was afraid that that would lead to immediate hostilities.
I think this is fine.
Yeah, this is fine.
All right. So you guys
You're
are.
gonna get to for her to maybe be close in case we need her.
I mean, you guys, you do have a moon already. There's a moon in here, and
Sure.
then you also have like Leonardo and his crazy, stupid, like illusion bullshit. Anyway, where do you want to go now?
I guess we advance forward and see what we see.
You end up in this room, this big, large room right here.
I would say yes, it is very large.
So this is a the cavernous underbelly of the stage is noisy and hot. Goblins work a forge, saw wood, and daub paint onto wooden backdrops. A woman in a tight-fitting dress barks orders at the workers, while a goblin frantically makes adjustments to her costume using needles, pins, and thread. A tiny creature chained to a hooded lantern on a tabletop is using a stick of charcoal to sketch something on a piece of parchment at unbelievable speed. A wispy bulb of light flutters next to him. You recognize the tiny creature as a chained Briganock.
So do we just immediately go over and free this Briganock?
I'm immediately interested in what they're drawing.
I think at least a little bit of discretion. I do want to free them, but I would think at least a little bit of discretion would be advised here.
Agreed.
So this room is beneath the grand stage?
Yes.
Okay.
So you can kind of tell. So this is information that Break a Leg would have given you. This leads up to. It's still behind stage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
And he would have told you that there is a pad. You can't quite see it over here, but there is a. He would have told you that there is a. I'm giving you the lay of the land here. There's a dock over here that sometimes the Darklings use to. They fly their balloons up to. And this right here leads up to the other side of the stage, on the side next to the stands, near the actual raised stage itself.
I don't think we want to end up on the stage itself, so.
So basically, this right here leads up to the stage. This is a path behind for them to load. This is for them to bring materials down, like a freight elevator.
This is like, yeah, okay, it's an elevator.
Yeah.
So we need to go up to the stage, raise the elevator, and then come back down here and look and see if there's anything hidden underneath it.
This is not REM. Oh,
So-
it's what's her name's weakness. Oh, it's the eclipse. We already knew.
But here's the thing though, is that there's people all running out and about. Does anybody seen like people out of place here? I'm kind of concerned about that. We're going to be raising an alarm.
I think we just walk out there and act like we belong here.
When you walk out, and we'll say that this is where the Briganock is. The woman is in this square, and she's being, like I said, fitted for a costume by a goblin, wearing spectacles, and she is just barking orders at him. And when she turns around to see you, she says, "Ah, yes, more help, please." And she starts rattling off things for you to do.
Like what?
To go into the room and gather more cloth for her dress, to just a general setup for her play.
Okay. I agree to do that, and then I come back and
yeah.
we're going to look at this section
Yeah.
that we haven't opened up yet.
Yeah.
And then as you're walking away, the goblin says, "Miss Scylla, do you not?" And then she immediately slaps him and says, "Call me Charme."
I don't like her, and I'm going to interact with her as little as possible.
Looks like sleeping quarters.
Yes, this is the worker cells. 6 dingy cells strung with hammocks line both sides of the corridor. Loud snoring comes from one cell, and the noise of a rumbling stomach from another.
Okay. Just goblins, if we peer into them.
Yes. You see 2 non-combatant goblins. One is got a male goblin. who is sound asleep, and in the other one, a female goblin is sitting in her cell, nibbling at her toenails, and that's where the rumbling stomach has come from.
Does
She's
anybody
eating
have
her toenails.
Does anybody have
She's
any
hungry.
food? 'Cause that's the saddest thing I've ever seen.
I know, right?
You're Druid, you have good berry, right?
I didn't take Goodberry.
Where's like all the cloth and clothes and stuff that she wants?
Oh, I assume that was back in the storage room in here.
Well, I mean, I specifically looked for a tabard in there.
Oh.
I mean, it's just around the room and things like that. Like, it was a broad gesture.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna
she expects you to already know.
Okay, so Leonardo is going to gather what he thinks he needs for the tabard, that he can paint an eclipse on, and other stuff. He's going to hand off all the other stuff to somebody, and then go in here and get to work.
Get to hear work doing what?
I'm going to paint an eclipse on the front of the tabard.
And Turvum comes over here, is like, hey, I think it's a great idea. I think it's a great idea, but discretion. We don't want to be provocative yet.
No, of course not.
Of course
So-
not. That's why I'm doing this now and not later.
Yeah, we're doing this now so we can be provocative later.
I really just want to make a painter's tools check.
All right, make a painter's tools check.
Yay! 17.
17.
Yeah.
All right, you draw a fairly convincing eclipse on this tabard.
Alright. It needs to dry, so we have to hang it up and let it sit for a little bit.
All right, it will take 1d4 hours to dry.
Okay.
Drew, while we're waiting, what are our chances of organizing these goblins into a revolutionary strike force?
2.
I don't know. You haven't spoken to any of them.
Do we have any food to offer this hungry goblin?
You guys have rations, I imagine.
Yeah, I was looking in my character sheet real quick.
I don't have any food. I don't know how we've made it this far.
I didn't take Goodberry
I've
because
got
I was
rations.
assured there would be like lollipop forests and stuff.
There were
Yeah.
you guys have been subsiding on lollipops and gumdrops and soda, that has been just like pouring from pitcher
Our
plants.
teeth are going to be so freaking rotted by the time we're done here.
Does Cure Wounds cure tooth decay? Take 1d4 sugar damage.
It's custard damage.
I've already taken all of the custard damage, and I came out okay, so.
You did, but that was some real mean custard.
It was.
And then I'll hand Mrs. Fitzbiggins some dried meat and hardtack.
Yeah, we'll offer it to the goblin that's eating her toes.
She gratefully accepts, and then she offers you for reciprocity. She offers you some secrets.
Excellent. I love secrets.
Secrets are great.
She tells you conspiratorially that she found a key and hid it under the seat cushion of the throne in one of the prop rooms.
Where are the prop rooms at?
She tells you that the prop rooms are upstairs. So up here, she says the quickest way to get to the prop room is to go up this and then go west. No, excuse me. I'm almost saying. So the quickest way is to go up these stairs, and then the prop rooms are over here in this area.
Sorry, where was this throne? It was in the prop room?
Yes, it's in the
Yes.
prop room.
Got it. Okay, thank you.
What does the key open?
She doesn't know.
Good to
But
know.
it must be something good, because keys always open something good. She learned
Which
that
kind is
from
key?
she learned that from another goblin.
I ask who the woman in charge out there is.
She tells you that. Well, first she tells you that goblins who anger creep. She had 3 secrets to tell you.
Oh, okay.
Goblins who anger creepily in are turned into wooden masks, and she's also turned a few guests, treated them the same way. And that there's a boarded up belfry in one of the turrets of the castle. and she doesn't know. It's just something. There must be something really good up there, and she tells you it is this belfry up here.
What did you ping? Because I was too zoomed in. Ah.
I'm picking something behind the black space that we can't see.
Right.
Mhm.
Okay.
Let me go ahead, and since you know about this, so this is the stairs, and this is that is the prop room, and this is the. There you go.
The
I put 'em-
belfry.
I marked the map. We'll remember that.
I marked it on your map.
When you're asking about
Updated my journal.
when you ask about the lady out there, she tells you that that is Gilla or Scylla. It's Skylla.
Scylla.
Yeah, Scylla.
Yeah.
She defected. She was part of a group called the League of Malevolence.
Jesus Christ.
You've already met someone from the League of Malevolence.
That was the assassin.
That was the
Yeah,
orc
yeah.
assassin.
Although she has, Indolin has turned her from her group because she showed her a likely future where she was fatally betrayed by the other members of the League. She basically, at this revelation, she defected to the group and has taken refuge in Motherhorn. She is currently preparing for her one-woman play that she wrote herself, Lamentations of a Warlock. And she is driving the goblins crazy.
Did Leonardo give me cloth to give to her?
Yes.
I will take the cloth and put it in front of them.
This little the little goblin like making her costume is like he is flustered. She's yelling at him. She's hitting him with her fan. She's got like a nice silk fan, and she keeps again thwacking him in the head, and he then gets nervous and he pokes her with the sewing needles, which causes him to get thwacked again. And then he apologized to Miss Scylla, and then she thwacks him again for not using her stage name of Charme. It's just a vicious cycle of this poor goblin being abused.
Mrs. Fitzbiggins going to have to step in and correct this behavior.
Before you go, though, she does tell the goblin that you fed,
Yes.
who introduces herself as Kiz, Kizz.
Gross.
She does tell you that Scylla has the key to the Briganock captured on the table.
Okay.
And that's all she's got for you. She thanks you for the food and proceeds to eat.
What was it? It was like salt jerky and hardtack.
The best
Yeah.
food she's ever eaten.
But it's not candy and
She's got
It's not toenails.
It's also not toenails.
marshmallow
Yeah,
treat.
it's also not toenails, yes.
that's a few
Can't
steps up.
confirm.
People in the Feywild
Yes.
also were able to live on sunshine and happiness. Wait, there's not a lot here in.
Yeah, we have thunderclouds and I mean, we have those birds that we killed. You could cook those up.
I try to find out when this play is supposed to go on stage.
She shrugs whenever she feels ready to put it on.
Okay.
And
Are we ready to start antagonizing this woman?
I mean, if she's not already upset by the clothes Leonardo gave to Turvum, because remember Leonardo's taste.
Yeah. Right.
It's completely wrong.
It's true, we are.
You know, I hadn't really thought about that, but also Turvum is not particularly into fashion himself, so he wouldn't know any better.
I mean,
I can't wait.
this tabard fits the part, but it's definitely flamboyant.
What? Well, on that part, why do you think Turvum was like, hey, pump the brakes on this? Pump the brakes!
He would do that because, one, more paint means longer to dry, and two, it doesn't have to be perfect. And by perfect, he means fashionable.
I suppose it is better than the unicorn costume.
Yeah. No, it's literally just like a knight's tabard, and it's white with like some colored trim, probably like purple, with an eclipse on the front. It's not like I'm painting 3 Wolf Moon for you to wear or something like that.
Oh, I wish you were.
Well, there's not an eclipse on that, so you do the best you can with the tools you have. Although if
you
Mrs.
go,
why don't
Fitzbiggins
you
wants
guys go
to
ahead and-
summon 3 wolves,
Mrs. Fitzbiggins, while they're talking about this,
Yeah.
the goblin who you see the goblin finish her meal, and she says, "Oh, one more thing," she says, and she points, and she takes you around the corner, and she points at Scylla, and she
Yeah.
says, "Don't let her touch that. Don't let her get that staff."
What staff?
So up against the table, you see a staff leaned up against it.
Oh.
Says if she grabs that, he says if you're going to confront her, don't let her get that staff. And then she looks at you expectantly, and like just your passive insight tells you she wants more food.
I didn't have any food. Belshan gave her the food.
Yeah, I'm willing to give her like a full day's worth of rations to.
She happily takes the food and goes off and continues to eat it.
So the
She goes,
staff
"If
is
I
leaned
think
up
of-
against the table.
So she's basically in this square right here.
Okay.
It's her and a goblin, and the goblin is like making a like flamboyant green dress with feathers poking out of it everywhere.
Sure.
Like horrendous pink ribbons. The Briganock is chained to a lantern on this table, and her staff is kind of in the corner here.
Gotcha. Looking around the supply room, what do we see here in the way of like prop tiaras or crowns or something?
I will say you could find with enough time, you can find whatever you want.
Okay. So Leonardo's in here painting. Belshan and
Yeah.
Turvum. Here's the plan.
Right.
We're going to go out there. You guys are going to take a couple of tiaras with you, right? We're going to tell her that we need to try each of them on while I give feedback. A woman's eye and all that.
Agreed.
As she closes her eyes to place one of these tiaras on, I'm going to grab that staff and use all of my bunny hops to get back down into the mine and fling it into the goddamn chasm.
Right.
The chasm, that's like you're looking at like a quarter mile down there. Like this doesn't like immediately because remember the brick. Like, if you look at the map, like it's like miles and miles because remember like Motherhorn's way up here and
Okay.
the mine is like
Yeah.
way down here at the bottom.
Well, what is this
Yeah.
dock? This just goes out in open
Yeah.
air, right?
throw it
It
off
just
the
goes in
dock.
open air, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
But
well,
this
then
door is closed.
Let's find
Step
out
two,
how this
though.
door is locked then. How is the door closed?
It's just a barn door with a latch.
Step 2, though, can you just swap the staff or something? Because she's looking the other way. Like, there's plenty of props out here, right? And then do what you were going to do. You don't need to like make a display of "Ha! I've got it, run!" Just casually swap them and then walk over there and then whoops off the edge.
You know what? No, I don't want to do disrespectful Warlock. I think she'll notice if her staff has been swapped. But yeah, I do want to separate this Warlock from her staff. So let's do the tiara plan.
Yeah.
But I'm
I like
thinking
that plan.
I'll
yeah.
just grab it, unlatch the barn door ahead of time. So one of you do that. The other one have her try on the tiaras.
Yeah, sounds good.
And
I
then
can unlatch the barn door.
so you stand over by the barn door, unlatch it. So all we have to do is kick it open.
Yep.
And then Turvum, we'll persuade her she has to close her eyes so Turvum can put this tiara and get it fitted proper on her head without her hair being too mussed up.
Sounds good. I'm excited to be a part of this plan.
And Turvum is like, isn't this going to cause a scene?
Yes.
No pun intended.
Yes, it is.
All right. So I need. What is the best check you can think of to like nonchalantly walk over and open a door?
Sleight of hand.
Nah.
Deception?
This is
Yeah,
probably
stealth.
deception.
Stealth, yeah.
Yeah, stealth. Give me a.
Oh, because I have advantage on deception checks. I have disadvantage on
I will
stealth.
let you use a. I'll let you use dexterity deception, but you still got to use dexterity. And then I need a persuasion or performance. I need a performance check from the other three of you if you're going to get her attention and.
I'm gonna sprout wings. So I have a better shot at this, and it's what? Performance?
I'll cast guidance on Belshan before he goes up to do the door.
Oh, thank you. Yeah,
I
I
have-
have a -1 penalty to this check, but I do roll it at advantage though,
I
so
have
that's
a
good.
5 on persuasion.
I have 25 on performance.
What does Turvum got for me?
Oh, performance? I don't like this plan, but fine. I don't like anything that's going on in this, basement.
It's a 16, and I'm really happy I lobbied for that advantage.
Performance is 13.
Performance? Okay. All right. Belshan, you just kind of nonchalantly walk over and to the door, and you fiddle with it, and you slide it open.
Yep.
Mrs. Fitzbiggins, the Scylla gives you the stink eye, but her attention is quickly grabbed by Leonardo and Turvum, basically falling over themselves to, they flattering her and stuff like that, talking about how they look forward to her play, they've heard good things, and she lets you go through her plan. And she bends down to try a tiara on for Turvum and Leonardo.
Yeah.
Leonardo picks the most beautiful one first, which means you know what. It looks wonderful.
It's a paper Burger King crown.
It's like a paper bag or something.
She preens. She doesn't know what
The
it looks
honey
like.
boo booist.
I suppose that we would all be there, and we would veto any potential choice. Like, it's like if Leonardo has like 5 of them now, it's like, oh, these 2 are the worst, and then it's like we take those 2. It's like, trust us, Leonardo.
So before you jump, I need everybody to roll initiative. Now this is not your ruse is intact. Okay?
You're right.
Oh,
But I
come
still
on.
need
Okay.
everybody to roll initiative.
I'm gonna keep that.
That was not terrible.
I don't need to buff that.
Where's her step?
This picture-in-picture thing is so good.
All right.
Wait, picture in picture? What?
Yeah, you right-click on the board. You can go picture-in-picture, and then you can place the camera around the initiative tracker.
Oh,
And
that's
shove it off to the side?
fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta spin it this way though.
So she is right there. And then I need
So it'll always be at the side of the screen, no matter where you got it scrolled.
Oh, I just do this. Okay.
6, 8. All right. So she's surprised her first round, so just you guys have like one whole round. Basically, she's going to be surprised as long as you guys do not do anything overtly hostile, like snatch at her, like attack her or snatch her device.
Oh,
Or
I'm going to snatch your device.
snatch her device. Yeah.
Mhm.
me see.
You're last. I mean, I'm just gonna maintain the facade on my turn.
Okay.
Likewise.
I just grab another tiara, throwing the one in my hand like on the table, and it's clearly the best one.
I mean, go through the things, and she, like I said, she's preens. Belshan leans by the door. It's Turvum's turn. Does he do anything different?
Nope. I continue with the charade.
All right, Mrs. Fitzbiggins, it's your turn to get this underway.
Yeah, I'm going to grab the staff.
And she turns around and looks at you.
And I'm going to bonus action to bunny hop 15 feet out of her threat range.
And she snatches at you as you do it, but it's to no avail.
10, 15, 20, 25, 30 is my movement.
Uh-huh.
And then my action is to hold the staff. Well, I guess it's not really an action.
You just chuck it.
No, I hold the staff out over the dock. And we were told that she had... Well,
I mean, so you're going to try and bargain with her?
She's not a hag. She's a warlock.
She is not a hag, no.
We
She's
can
a warlock.
safely make deals with her.
When you hold it over the thing, she does let out a squawk of like protest and fear is too strong of a word.
I just hold my finger up to my lip and shush her and gauge her reaction.
And she puts her hands down and she's like, she makes a placating gesture.
So my action for the turn then, because I've used bonus action, I've used movement, is to ready an action. If I see her make a hostile gesture, I let go of the staff.
Okay.
And that's it for my turn. Now 40 Darklings appear and knock me off this goddamn dock.
I would laugh.
And I would deserve it.
And as you're falling, you cast daylight on it. It's like, you're coming with me!
What she says, what do you want?
Am I able to respond to her on my turn?
Is anybody going? We can come off initiative. Nobody's going to attack her.
Yeah, that's
I'm
fine.
not going to attack her.
I'm going to murder this person in cold blood, even if she is a former assassin of evil thing.
She's not an assassin. She's a warlock.
She's an employee.
She's a member of the League of Malevolence. She was a former member of the League of Malevolence, which, by the way, is the best name.
She didn't leave the League of Malevolence, like, for auspicious reasons. She left because she thought they were going to kill her.
She didn't choose the League of Malevolence life. The League of Malevolence life chose her.
And she asks you, what do you want?
That's
That's a very powerful artifact, and I'd appreciate it if you did not drop it down the mountain.
How much would you appreciate it?
It depends. What do you want?
I tell her we're here to throw down the hag. And I ask her if she's our ally or not.
Because she looks at you appraisingly and says, "Sure, we can be allies."
Insight.
Yeah.
Insight.
You can all roll an insight check.
15.
Okay.
That was almost a 0.
Let me see what she rolled.
Hey, there you go, Treble. Not Treble, I'm sorry, error.
My insight is 17.
17. Okay.
21.
21.
And I have
Okay.
15 as well.
15. Belshan, Mrs. Fitzbiggins, Leonardo, she seems reasonably like she's telling the truth. Turvum, this woman's lying. She's just telling you what you could like. She's lying to you. She's just telling that your party members what they want to hear.
Now, let's be forthcoming with all of us here.
Well, and she looks at you and says, "Well, bring my staff back in and give it, and then we can discuss terms in good faith."
I don't even know what significance the staff even has, but because I wasn't privy to the conversation with the goblins. But
Well,
Like,
does
you say that out
Turvum
loud?
know? Does Turvum know that she's a warlock?
no, I wasn't privy to that conversation at all.
No, we had a whole conversation about setting up this plan in the other room.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
nobody's
did.
in the
Never
dark
mind.
here.
So the staff is to this warlock as Leonardo's paintbrush is to Leonardo.
It's a spell focus. I
It's
know
a
that.
spell focus.
It's
Yeah.
I'm sure it's more than that. So how
I mean,
does she...
Leonardo believes her. So
I would like to. I was to be. Color me is doubtful as to the intentions of your words.
She goes, "Well,
She and I tell my companions she has a honey tongue. Don't be fooled
I take a step
by
back
that-
along the dock.
by that statement.
he goes, well, he says, if you throw my, he says, fine. If you throw my staff over the edge, then I will alert Indolin that you're here."
And
She
Leonardo
sees the
knows we're
future.
here.
She probably already knows we're here.
she already knows we're here.
If she knew you were here right now, then she would be down here asking you to perform in her theater.
Will she ask us to do that whether or not I throw your staff off this dock?
She doesn't say anything.
What is her loyalty to you? Did you make a deal with the hag?
No, she did not make a deal with the hag. She is currently in the employ of the hag. And she is making her theatrical debut.
Do we know?
And she goes into a soliloquy about her one-woman show, The Tribulations of a Warlock, where Charmaine, will wow the crowds, and she's just gonna go on and on.
Halfway
and on.
through her soliloquy,
Huh?
I have my little glove puppet in the shape of a wizard.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to use it to cast the Minor Illusion spell to make it sound like she's flubbing her lines.
Oh my! Oh man!
And then she. Let's see. No, she doesn't. She is very confused, as she's saying something, and then something else is coming out, and she stops talking, and again she just looks absolutely confused.
So not only can I separate you from your staff, but you now see that we have the power to ruin your performance. You're looking to impress Endolin, are you not?
She shrugs. Not really. It's just theater is my calling. And she looks off in the distance and gives a smoky gaze.
I hate this NPC so much!
Leonardo says to her, "Well, then, what do you need the staff for?"
He goes, "A lady must defend herself. No?"
Leonardo's gonna lean in and say, he's gonna look over towards Miss Fitzbiggins and say, "Last chance."
I've already asked you what you wanted. You haven't told me.
We have asked her what we wanted. Is she going to be our ally or not?
And then she lied about it.
And she lied about it.
What do you want? What can I do to get my staff back? That does not involve going against the nigh immortal hag in the seat of her power, surrounded by all of her underlings.
Based on that response, Leonardo is inclined to say... Oh, well, he would say that. Leonardo says, based on that response, there's nothing you can do. And he turns to Mrs. Fitzbiggins and says, drop the staff.
Okay, then roll the initiative.
Oh,
I thought we were on initiative already.
No, we can just go back on initiative.
Oh, we can just go back on initiative.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, just go back
Well,
on
yeah.
initiative.
Okay.
And we'll start at that Leonardo's turn. You said drop the staff. He was the last one to speak.
Okay, so is that my action? Or do I go now?
I mean, it doesn't take any. Speaking is mostly a free action. It's just. But-
I'm going to try. Do I see the key on her that apparently releases this
We didn't even ask her for the key. Hang on. We were told that you have the key to this
It's not your turn.
unfortunate.
It's not your turn. Do I see the key on a
No.
key ring on her? No.
No.
Okay.
It is all you know is it's on her person.
All I know is it's on her person.
By the way, I would like to wrap this up pretty soon
Yeah.
because we're at my hard stop time.
Right.
Yeah,
we
it is coming
can-
up right at the end of time. Yeah.
Do we want to just pause here?
We could pause here. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't have a
we-
good idea what I want to
We
do.
made pretty good progress.
Yeah, we did well.
So you guys are in here. We've got 2 more sessions to wrap up. So I figure we could wrap this up in probably another half session and then move on to the final dungeon and then get that wrapped up in one session and be done. And we will have sped run. Witchlight.
Wait, we found all of the skips to skip 26 weeks.
This is any
of the
percent.
speedrun.
Yeah,
Same.
we have definitely wall clipped through.
Yeah, we have backwards long jumped.
I mean, you can kind of
that.
see it here on the map.
We only found
there's
one
clearly a
Korok.
boundary.
How many A presses you guys have we done so far?
16 and a half.
All right, thank you. Goodbye.
All right. Goodbye.
Cheers.